I never thought a simple trip for coffee could change my life, or take it away. But if you're listening to this recording, it means I finally decided to tell the truth. It happened late in the evening. It was about 10:48 p.m. when I noticed that my favorite Starbucks on the corner was still open, even though they usually close earlier on weekdays. Outside, the light was only on above one window, and the neon sign was crackling as if about to burn out. But I needed the coffee. The night promised to be long. I walked in. The door jingled with a bell that had never hung there before. It was eerily silent inside. None of the usual steam machine noise, no student chatter, no smell of fresh pastries, just the smell of something cloyingly sweet, almost chemical. The barista stood behind the counter. He wasn't moving. He was staring at the floor like he was disconnected. Hello? I said. The barista slowly lifted his head. His face was unusual. It looked too smooth, like a mannequin's, and his eyes seemed empty, without a flicker, as if there wasn't a drop of life inside. "You came later than usual," he said. I froze. "How do you know when I usually come?" He didn't answer. He just turned to the coffee machine without even asking what I wanted. But his movements were too fast, unnaturally abrupt, as if he was working on fast forward. I repeated, "I haven't ordered anything yet." The barista stopped, and without turning around, he said quietly, almost whispering, "You already placed your order." I got goosebumps. I wanted to leave, but he was already placing a cup on the counter, and he didn't even look at me, as if he knew exactly where to put it. The cup was mine, but I hadn't ordered it. On it, written in marker, was a name. Not the one I use, not the one on my documents, but that very name I only heard in nightmares, the one that always woke me up with chest pain, a name I could never remember during the day, but recognized immediately when I saw it written. It was my true name. I stepped back. This can't be. The barista blinked for the first time, but slowly, too slowly. I had the feeling he wasn't closing his eyes, but rebooting. I asked, "Who told you that name?" He said, "You only write what a person brings with them." It got cold. The air inside grew thicker. I smelled a strange stench, like dampness, mildew, and something dead. I picked up the cup to examine it and noticed the paper structure was strange. It was pulsating, like skin. I threw it onto the counter. The barista quietly said, "It is for you anyway." I took a step back and heard something fall deep inside the hall. A table? A chair? Or maybe someone was hiding in the darkness. The lights in the coffee shop began to flicker. The shadows on the walls moved from the flickering, as if they had a life of their own. And suddenly there was the sound of a marker, sharp, scratching. The barista, without looking at me, was writing something on a second cup. He placed it next to the first. It read, "You are already here." I tried to turn around and leave, but it didn't open. The doorknob was cold, like metal in winter. I pulled harder, no use. In the reflection of the glass, I saw my face, but the movements weren't mine. My reflection was smiling, even though I was terrified. I walked towards the counter to demand an explanation, but the barista was already closer to me, much closer than he should have been able to move. His palm suddenly rested on my shoulder. His skin was icy cold. "You must drink it." "That's not my drink." "It is your drink, the one you ordered many lives ago." The floor beneath my feet was slightly trembling, or was it my knees? And then I saw a third cup. It stood deep on the counter. On it, my current name, crossed out. What does crossed out mean? The barista fully turned towards me. He smiled for the first time. His teeth were too straight and too long. "We fix mistakes." I felt panic start to grow inside. I wanted to scream, but instead of a scream, a gasp escaped my throat. And then I heard footsteps behind me, quiet, dragging like they were wet. I spun around. No one, but the air moved as if it breathed. I tried to open the door again. It was trembling, as if someone on the other side was holding it with both hands. I screamed, "Let me out!" and heard the answer, "You never left." I turned around, and the Starbucks was different. The walls were darker, as if covered in soot. The mermaid logo above the counter was stretched. Her eyes were black, and her mouth seemed to be whispering something. The barista was standing right up against my face. "Drink it." "No!" "Then it will drink you." I felt movement nearby. The cup, the one with the true name, it shifted. I saw the liquid inside rising, as if something was breathing in there. The cup cracked, and a warm, dark mass began to pour out. It reached for the edge of the counter like a living creature. I stepped back, but the floor became sticky. Something clung to my boots, like hands grabbing me from under the tiles. I looked at the barista. He was blurring like a reflection in water. His voice became polyphonic, as if dozens of people were speaking with one throat. "We wait for ours properly. You were ordered long ago, very long ago." The cup fell to the floor and burst. The dark mass jerked up and wrapped around my leg, cold like a dead body. I screamed. The barista pronounced, "Now we know your name, the true one. You belong." The light went out. In the complete darkness, I only heard one thing, a whisper, in both ears at once. "Welcome back."
And if you are still here, listening to this, then I have one important piece of advice. Next time you walk into a Starbucks, check the name on your cup. If there is something strange written there, something you didn't say, something only the dead know, just walk away, slowly, without looking back. Because a drink like that should never be received, and certainly no one should ever finish it. And you know, if you want to prevent this story from happening to you, then hit the like button right now. Yes, right now, not later. Because they say, the one who watches videos like this and doesn't like them wakes up in the morning with a cup on which their true name is written and a date. Want to avoid that? Hit like, leave a comment, and make sure to subscribe while you still can.